Hey guys, my name is Joey Thomas, entrepreneur and small business educator here with 17 Hats. And today I have the pleasure of being here with Shirleen Burnett. Hey, Shirleen.
Hey, Joey, how are you?
I am awesome. Now, Shirleen, where are you right now in the world?
I am in beautiful Banff, Alberta, Canada, just outside of the
Oh
Banff
gosh, that
National
is
Park.
such a gorgeous, gorgeous part of the world.
It is. It is.
Um,
Everyone should come visit.
really, everyone should. I mean, it's on my it has made officially it's on my bucket list, Charlene.
Yeah.
And so I have family out there. I got to get out there. What's the weather like?
Well, it's really mild. We're having a very strange winter. It's usually very cold. So if
Uh-huh.
you're going to come out, I would suggest coming out in September,
Okay.
unless you like the snow and the cold. But winter
No.
here, it's about 9 months long.
Yeah. So what's mild? What's mild to you?
Mild to me is okay. So I'll say it in Fahrenheit for you Celsius people afraid of Celsius.
Yes.
Above 30 degrees Fahrenheit.
Oh,
It's
that's not
mild.
bad.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Oh, that's
I mean, it could be
manageable.
it could be minus 30.
Yeah, I know. Don't let it fool you guys.
Yeah,
Go in September. Well,
yeah.
Shirlene, I'm so happy to have you here as a 17 Hats ambassador, right? So thank you so much. And Shirlene, so you have a photography business and you've had a photography business, Burnett Photography, for the last 10 years, correct?
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about your journey as a photographer. What do you do? What do you specialize in?
We specialize in weddings and engagement proposals, wedding related things. And that's all we do. We're pretty specialized in that. And I wasn't always specialized. I was a generalist when I first started out. I actually lived in LA when I first started out. And I don't know a budding actor or independent music group that doesn't need headshots and album covers and artwork and stuff like that. So I started out doing
Okay.
that. Um, then we got married here in Banff and we loved it. And we turned around within a year, we were living here, which is totally serendipitous because my husband he's an educator, he's a professor, and he was looking for a tenured position. And Mount Royal in Calgary was looking for international faculty. So it was just perfect timing
Oh,
for us.
fantastic.
So when I came out here, weddings are a big thing here, and I didn't ever think I would be a wedding photographer. I kind of second as a photographer for another wedding photography company, and I found I really enjoyed it. So that
Well,
was the rest was just kind of
well,
history.
fantastic. It's not easy to keep, the actual numbers. When you look at the statistics, most photography business, I want to say nearly somewhere between 80 and 90% actually shut down within the first 5 years of running
Yeah,
a business,
yeah.
right? So to kudos, first of all, for being in business for the last decade. That's a great feat. And so tell me, um, in your journey, I'm guessing it wasn't always what it is today,
No,
right? So what's the secret sauce, Charlene? What do you think? Because I know a little bit about you, that it's a luxury, you consider it a luxury wedding photography business, right? And you don't necessarily start off in day one saying luxury. And so what's your secret sauce? What do you think you did to get to where you are in a nutshell?
well, specifically to photography, I learned lighting.
Mhm.
Lighting is the special sauce in many ways,
I
is
agree.
to bring your work up to a world class caliber. And for me, lighting, learning posing and lighting, and just a lot of education going into my craft was what got my photography to a point where I could look at charging in the 10K and above price point.
Mm,
If I didn't have the work, if the work didn't speak for itself, then it'd be hard.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
hard anyways, but the work being first class and world class is just the price of admission.
Well, and and having been connected with the photography industry a long time myself as well, I know that you could be a great artist, right? And still not run a really great business. Somehow you have managed to do both.
Yeah.
So what would you like our listeners and viewers to kind of understand that they have to do in order to go from being a great artist, because that's a journey, right? You keep getting better every day. But how do you make that transition to becoming a great business?
I think the first thing you have to do is start, and I say this with a caveat, is that you have to stop thinking of yourself in some ways as an artist and more as an entrepreneur, as a business person. Because it's true, I know many photographers, many artists who could blow me away with their work, but they don't see their business as such. They don't come to it as a business. They tend to undervalue what they have and to give their work away. And I think the main problem people have is not believing in their work, not believing in themselves as being worthy of charging a really luxury, like a luxury price. And I think the number one thing they do is they don't understand their client. They don't understand a luxury mindset. And they make the mistake of thinking that their clients are them, or that they are their ideal client. I'm not my ideal client. I'm not. I live in a cabin in the woods. I'm not like a high fashion, glamorous person, but I like fashion photography. I like glamour. I think that's why I liked wedding photography so much, is I like the larger than lifeness of a wedding day, and people being in some of the most expensive attire they'll ever wear and having their hair and makeup done. I love that. And I put on a little makeup for this interview. I swear I had to find my makeup because
me too, as you could
see. Right. I'm not that person, but my client is. And so I think the biggest mistake people make is to think that their clients think like they do. When they don't at all.
So would you say that there's a way, if you're an artist, right? And artists are always looking at other artists, always comparing themselves to other people. And when that happens, it can be a little bit of a challenge. And so what kind of frustrations, what kind of challenges do you think that other photographers or even small businesses in general will face if they don't value what they do the way that you described?
Well, there's so many problems, Joey. And it's true. I think in this day and age where we have social media and we're seeing so many beautiful images, and it may not be photography, but it could be like just a really beautiful Instagram grid, right? And there's a lot of pressure to have that perfect Instagram grid. And I think for me anyways, sometimes I won't post because it's not perfect or beautiful. And I had to just get past that. I think rather than being intimidated by what you see around you online, on Instagram, on wherever your social media is, rather than being intimidated by it, be inspired by it, and know that like the imposter syndrome, like we all feel it. It's there, it's true, it's real. Like just lean into it. Just be like, okay, if I feel like an imposter, let me just feel like an imposter, but like act that role and believe that I am what I think I am. Like for me to believe that I can charge $50K for a wedding, and maybe that's hard for me to believe, but just lean into it and be inspired, because what we're not seeing are the insecurities of all those, our competition, right? Like and people, the things that they post, especially as photographers, the images they post, it's probably like 0.01% of their very best work. You don't see all their work that looks normal or even might look crappy. They're just showing their best 1%. And if you showed your best 1%, regardless of what your industry is, people will feel that way about you. So know that there's two sides to that coin.
One little kind of, I would say, mental kind of a mindset hack that I use, and I've asked others to use, is, let's say we're on our journey and we're becoming more confident as business people, as artists. If we talk about photography in general, and that might be a process, right? We're a work in progress. But if we allow that to be, let's just, like you said, just let that be. But instead of focusing on our value and trying to get to that place where we feel that we're valued, I ask them to focus on what your work it actually means to your client.
Yeah.
Because in the end of the day, no matter how you feel about yourself, this work you're creating, Shirleen, it's starting at a wedding, but then it goes down to a child, and that child passes it down to another child, and it becomes the beginning of that family legacy. And so that, no matter the quality of the picture, really doesn't matter, right? Because we've seen our grandparents' pictures or our parents' pictures. Yeah. They're not artistic in any way, but they have such immense value.
Yeah.
That if we begin to think of it like that and price like that, run a business like that, I think we could really change the way we approach things.
You know, I say your client may not think like you, but you, to start, just at the price of entry, you have to have great faith in what you're doing, that it is valuable. I have a story, and this is probably why I became a photographer to begin with. Is that, and it's kind of a sad story, and I don't mean to bring this down. I love your smile and keeping it upbeat, but I lost my dad when I was very young. Mm. And we didn't have any professional pictures taking. And let's face it, sometimes it's expensive to have professional pictures done, and you may not have that disposable cash to do that. We didn't. And so I don't really have any pictures of my dad. I have one picture of him, and it was the only pro picture. It was a headshot for his business. So it's not even like a touchy-feely. It's like a very serious headshot. But to me, that one picture is my dad. Because that's like, that picture is my memory almost. Like, I would have forgotten what he looked like without this picture. So move forward like 5 years. My sister was diagnosed with cancer, and she was really young. She was in her 30s, early 30s. The first thing my mom did was go out, hire a photographer, and do professional family portraits before she passed away. And she did pass away quite shortly after that. So can you imagine how priceless those pictures are to us now? Like, there's no going back, and there's no retake. I can't get another family portrait. I don't even have one with my dad. But those pictures, like, my sister and I scratched tooth and nail over them. Right. She should have had multiple ones done. When I go into photography, that's what I think of. I think of, okay, at a wedding, you don't know who's going to be there tomorrow. And every picture you take of every person at that wedding is priceless. Absolutely. If someone passed away, every picture is going to be priceless, and there's no redo. And if my house were burning down, my pictures are the things I'm going to grab and run out of the house with.
And value is just one part of what you had talked to me about before, elevating your business from what's considered a commodity to something that's highly sought after or luxury, right? Yeah. And value is one piece of that, right? And I know that topic is important to you, that elevation, that taking yourself and becoming something sought after. So if you were to do that, if you were to change that mindset and to become something sought after, a luxury style business, when you did that for yourself, what parts of your business changed?
For one, the amount of weddings I did, right there, just boom. I went from doing something like 45 to 50 weddings a year to doing 5 to 10. So the numbers changed. And for me, how I'm perceiving that value is, my clients, they don't have a lot of time. They're business people, usually they're professionals. They don't have time to wait for me to respond to their questions. They need me yesterday. They need everything without excuses. And I found that with the volume I was doing, I couldn't keep up with the service, the personalized service. I had to bring my numbers way down. Yeah. That meant raising my prices up, right? Because if I'm only doing 5 weddings, they need to cover the bills and everything. And I need to make a business out of it. So bringing the numbers way down gave me the freedom to have better service, to have a quicker turnaround, to do more for my clients. And I tell them more means, like, less clients means more for you. Yeah. And I show them how me doing less affects them directly. And so for them, the value of knowing that I'm going to have flexibility, especially during COVID. Oh my gosh, COVID was a nightmare. We had to reroute everything and reschedule everything. And people were having so many headaches and problems. But I was like, you know what? We're cool. I only have 5 weddings. Most any booking day you're going to reschedule, I'm going to be able to accommodate. And so that peace of mind is value. That peace of mind is worth a lot of value.
And I know a lot of people listening, they're in that same situation, right? They might be, their business is growing. They're in their first few years. Everything's going really, really well. And they find themselves saying yes to everything, just taking everything that comes along their way. But Shirleen, one of the things that happen often is burnout. When you made this change, did you find that you were just in a better mental space?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Because when we do 5 to 10, we limit it at 10. And as much as you want to take that 11th, I know that that's our little place that I work with my husband. And so we sat down and we decided 10, that's the max. When we do 10 weddings, we know who you are. People call me years later and they're like, hey, you did my wedding. I'm like, yeah, Mary, I totally remember who you are. Of course I remember who you are, because they're in my mind, they're fresh in my mind. And every wedding I go to is fresh. I haven't burnt out. I'm super excited. I'm super enthusiastic. I'm going to try so many different things. When I was doing 40 and 50, it does kind of become repetitive, and you're like, oh, here come the first speeches, here come the first dance. You can't think that way at someone's wedding, because to them, it is their, maybe it's not their first, but it's a meaningful day to them. And they don't want someone who's just punching the numbers, right? And what is that worth, Joey? To have someone excited to be there.
Exactly.
A lot,
so tell me this, for everyone listening, what are some ways, because we're talking about kind of this idea of converting your business or elevating your business, right? What are some tips that you can share with those that are listening right now?
You have to really think outside of the box. And I know you've heard this before, but you have to look at the industry and what's going on. You have to think about your client and what they need. We hear the word pain, where is their pain point? You have to understand that, and you have to really think hard about, how can I do something completely different that addresses that? So to give you an example, because I know these are theories and sometimes it's hard to put into practice, but here, and I hear this a lot, I don't know how you do it. The market is saturated. There's just so many people here doing the same thing. How do I break out of that? How do I look different? For us, I noticed people, we did a lot of elopements, and people they would elope, they'd have the ceremony, we would do the pictures, and then they'd kind of be standing around what's next? And their time with us was up, but they didn't know what to do next. So we thought, okay, let's ask some questions beforehand. Maybe they love to go spelunking, right? There's a cave here in Canmore. And this is actually how it started. They love to spelunk, and there's a cave in Canmore. And so we took them spelunking after their wedding day. Right. And it slowly grew into okay, this is a service now. Not only are we going to capture the day and document it and make beautiful pictures of you, but we're going to curate an experience for you that's going to be unforgettable, starting with what you like to do, what you like to eat and drink, where you want to go. And it helps that we have this beautiful destination, the Banff National Park, to work with. But you could do this anywhere. Sometimes we do pub crawls. So we'll rent a, depending if they have a small wedding, we'll take the whole wedding party and we'll take them to the craft breweries around town, and they can drink and have fun and not worry about driving. And we take them around to some of the beautiful scenes, and then they jump out and we do some photos with them. But it's more than a photo shoot. It's a pub crawl experience. They're having fun with their friends. My husband's lecturing them on the geography of the area and the movement of wildlife, and it goes so beyond photography. And so I would say to people to look beyond your own industry, see how it fits with what you do, and then collaborate with other people, anything. It could be anything. And you don't even have to think of it. If you just talk to your clients and find out what blows their hair back, then you can take their own ideas and run with it. and do something completely different, because I can tell you there's no other photographers in near me, in anywhere near me, who put together an entire experience, an entire day for them. It's so much more than a photography shoot at that
That's
point.
amazing.
Yeah. So a good book to read is Blue Ocean Strategy. And I think who wrote that? It's W. Chan Kim and Renee Malburn, but it's called Blue Ocean Strategy. And they talk about how if you create something that's so entirely different, you actually don't have competition at that point. And for someone who comes to this area, they don't know Banff the way I do. They don't know what to do here. And to talk to someone, they're going to talk to someone about how many pictures they get and how it's going to be delivered and at what resolution. They're going to have that conversation with every photographer. But then they talk to me and I'm like, well, what do you like to do? What would be, if you could do anything at all, what would it be? And then they're like, oh, well, I'd love to stand on the top of a mountain. And I'm like, well, we could do a helicopter. We could go up in a helicopter to a top of a mountain and do the session there. Or I'd love to be in my wedding gown and ski a double black diamond run. It's like, you know what? We can do that. We can make that happen. And if you just have the idea that like anything at all is possible, and whatever they give me, I'm going to find a way to make it happen, then that's different than the resolution you're going to get and how many pictures. The conversation they have with just about everybody, your conversation is going to be completely different, and that is going to differentiate you.
That's fantastic. So you're a 17 Hats ambassador.
Yes.
And I know, being a part of 17 Hats, that part of growing your business and part of becoming a professional and organized and really serving your clients really well starts on the business end, starts on how we organize things, the communication, the flow of everything. Tell me, how do you use 17 Hats? What is one of your favorite features, and how do you use that to really run this luxury business of yours?
Well, I couldn't do it without 17 Hats. And that's not just a cliche, I'm an ambassador. I mean, I don't get paid to be ambassador. I'm an ambassador because I just love it so much. I do coach some other photographers, and, if their work is good, then it automatically just goes to business. Most artists need business coaching.
Yeah.
And having something like 17 Hats, it organizes you. It keeps everything in one location. It just makes you look professional. There's just so many features that you can use. One feature that I like is the client portal. So if you're trying to differentiate yourself and you're trying to make someone feel like, okay, you are one of 10 very special people that get to work with us this year. I mean, we don't put it that way, but we're trying to like get this hype of like, yes, we're going to work with you this year. To have a place designed for them that looks really cool is different. Like, that's not something a lot of photographers or business people do. So just having the portal on 17 Hat, the client portal, already sets this feeling of I'm special. I've got my own portal. I can, and you just make things easy for them, right? Like, they don't have to go looking through their emails for the contract. You've got it right there. You've got all their correspondence right there. You're just making their life easier. And if you think of how to make your client's life easier, it may be more work for you, but if you have something like 17 Hats, it doesn't necessarily have to be more work, and it can be less. It can be super easy, and yet it makes you look so pro. And I don't know how many times I've had clients say like this, it's great. Every email you send me, it's all in that portal. My contract's there. If I do a mood board with someone, I can put the link to the Dropbox or to Pinterest or someplace else. You can put a link there. It just makes their life easy. So that's one super easy way.
That's great. Shirleen, I can see one thing, just talking to you, just you really love what you do. You're excited about it. I could see it just in your expression, in your voice. And even in just talking about 17 Hats, like you seem like a very authentic person. And I know that in running a business, that people aspect is so key, right?
Yeah.
Just being able to connect with people, showing them that you're a real human being, right? And one of the features in 17 Hats I love, it's simple, It's just when they get that automated email in the beginning after they fill out your form that their name is on there, right?
Yeah.
And it's not just this out of office message if it's on the weekend,
Yeah.
right? So that's a fantastic feature, but just that human element, and I know you absolutely would do such a great job at that, and that's why you have the business that you have. So I really appreciate that. Those are some really fantastic tips, and I think just in some of the things we talked about and just about the value and just elevating your business so that really not once did you just talk about making more money, which that is a great byproduct, isn't it?
And to that end, I know the people out there listening, and whatever you're doing, like, stop what you're doing and listen right now. I understand that it's scary to drop your numbers down. Like when I said we used to do 50 and now we do 5 to 10. I know that's frightening. I know that's frightening, but at the same time, you have to stop listening to the no's and the rejection and just find the yeses. In my mind, it's almost easier. I just have to find 5 to 10 people that say yes to me. I've got a whole year to get those 5 to 10 people to say yes. Everyone else says no, and that's okay. But if I let the no's in and I hear thousands of no's, that's really scary. So you have to just flip your mentality a little bit and think like, okay, I can find 5 to 10 yeses. I don't have to listen to 20,000 no's and let that bother me. I just need to find the yeses.
Oh, that's such a great way to think about it. Well, thank you so much, Shirleen. I really appreciate the time that you've taken here. Where can we follow you on social media?
Oh, on Instagram, Burnett Photography.
Okay, Burnett Photography.
On YouTube, Burnett Photography.
And it's Burnett, Burnett, correct?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Burnett.
Oh, you're on YouTube as well.
We're on YouTube as well. Yeah. And there's some fun behind the scenes. So, and just like I said, everyone shows you their best 1%. So some of the behind the scenes, you can see the catastrophes that happened, and I swear it humbles me. I put it up there just because I know it's intimidating to see some things, and I like to see the behind the scenes. So,
well, thank you for joining us all the way out from Canada, and hopefully we can do this again, right? And I'll definitely get out there, follow you, see your work, go check out her work, guys. And the book you talked about was Blue Ocean Strategy. Blue Ocean Strategy. Okay, yeah. Fantastic. Well, thank you again, guys. If you have not subscribed to the 17 Hess channel, this is your time to do so. Like this video if you like this video, and we'll be back with more interviews just like this. Well, thank you again, Shirleen.
Shirleen, not Shirley.
Yeah. So you know what? I did so good all the way up to this point.
You have been. It's okay. It's a difficult name.
Oh, it's
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. I'll see you again soon.